to you by tomorrow. So you can check
awesome.
it out if you want to go take a look and take any notes or whatever. So, all right, what got you interested in coaching?
I suck.
Love it. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. All right, what do you suck at?
So this is for DPS, right? So like,
Yes.
I've noticed.
So you're a god on tank and support then.
Maybe not support, but I'm good at tank. So,
let me guess. You don't
noticed,
play that much tank, but you dominate on it.
I'd say I play more tank than I do.
Oh, okay. But you're struggling in DPS.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of super, so I just kind of replicate that.
Well, that's your first mistake.
At least I try. Okay, well, fuck.
All right, fill me in. What's the deal?
So I notice I just die a shit ton.
Okay.
With DPS, like, and some of them are really stupid. Like I just feel like it's like an obvious, but I can't tell what the fix is. Like I have quite a few games here just in the past few days where I just like I have highest deaths in the lobby. I'll have like lower damage than normal as well. Like, and with the new season as well, I climbed to masters. That is swiftly been taken away from me. I nearly hit the 15 loss threshold. But I still somehow only hit diamond 2, so I'm happy with that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I said in the forum, I have good aim. This isn't my first shooter game.
What was your first shooter game?
Done aim training. Technically, like if we're going way back, it's like Fortnite, Minecraft, Counter-Strike, but like
okay.
Fortnite, I really did like a lot of stuff in Fortnite, and then I played a lot of Valorant, and I have like 200 hours in aim training stuff as well. So aiming isn't an issue for me, except for like Genji. I can't hit shurikens, but like Soldier, Ash, Widow, I consider myself decent with those. I just noticed like I blow up a lot from like either it like especially on Genji, I just like really fucking suck. Like,
yeah.
Whether I've watched some videos of yours on like timing.
Hopefully not me playing Genji.
No. No, yeah, it's I always seem to mess up the timing, or
yeah,
I beef shots. I don't know,
okay.
Yeah,
okay. So
and my blades are dog, but you know.
Oh yeah. Again, welcome to the club here. So, yeah. So okay. So sounds good. So you're stuck dying too much in DPS. Positioning maybe sucks. Timing, you're aware of these things, but still sucks. All right. Let's take a look at this. But you're a flex DPS player. It's looking like.
I can basically play the entire roster, but I specialize on hit scan.
Okay. So obviously the immediate low hanging fruit here is that like we've got some problems with what you're saying, because you say like you specialize in hit scan, but then you play a little bit of Echo, a little bit of Sojourn, a little bit of Bastion, and then you're complaining about why you're like struggling with Genji. You know, the Among Us, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Genji's kind of unique. If you're playing a lot of the other characters, you need to spend time. Because, like, the thing is like, I wouldn't say it's bad to have a wide hero pool in DPS, especially. Like, I think it can be really, especially if you're, like, playing a lot of Overwatch or you're, like, a pro wannabe and, you know, whatever. But you gotta, like, I think you gotta at least spend some time, like, identifying, all right, this week I'm going to really put some emphasis on this, or this week I'm going to put some emphasis on that. And if it's just temporary, and then the next week you're going to grind more of that, or next week you can grind more of that, just at least do bursts of focus is what I would say.
Right.
And that burst might be a week, might be 2 weeks, but don't make it a day. Don't make it a day. You're just not going to make enough progress at that. And that's especially going to be the case with those characters like Genji, where you're like, you really, really need to kind of get the feel for the character. And even a character like Bastion, right? Like, you know, Is it a hit scan character? I mean, yeah, but the guy plays like pretty different from other characters. So if you're like, even with the grenade, right? So like if you don't, if you're not doing those techs, the wall climbing and hitting the grenade, and you got Bastion's ult, and then you're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I like your hero pool, but I also hate your hero pool at the same time. I think you got to cycle things a little bit. I think you got to say like, this is my Bastion Genji week. This is my raw hit scan week. I'm gonna put a little time into Echo the week after, whatever. But something that looks a little bit more like that without like forcing you to OTP. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
That would be the first thing I'd say, without obviously looking at gameplay. Okay, so goals here: reach Grandmasters, High Masters at DPS this season. Long-term goal: top 500 in every role. Okay, I feel like my positioning is awful. I feel like I dive for bad position all the time. Don't respect a Genji dive. Just shift in the air in front of an Ashe Cassie's Echo. But just stupid mistakes. I have really stupid deaths. Getting higher rank is becoming more and more of a problem. Highest death of my team, lower damage. I mean, deaths and damage are gonna, high deaths, low damage. That's how it works, right?
Right.
I lack game sense. Playing the game for a while. I have 600 times. My aim crutch a lot. Aim crutch. Suck at flank DPS. I mean, again, that's the thing. Like, think about the flank DPS. You got Sombra, Tracer, Genji, and I guess to a lesser extent Reaper. Those guys really operate differently.
Yeah, really, and I don't touch Sombra at all either.
Right. So even just Tracer and Genji, some of the most unique kits in the entire game. And if you don't have like that muscle memory built, then yeah, you're gonna suck, right?
Yeah.
It's like me trying to pick up Wrecking Ball, right? It's not gonna happen. I can coach Wrecking Ball till the cows come home, but I can't play the hero. There's just certain techs that I just can't do. I just don't know. Sleep looks good. I have a chronic lung condition that stops me from being physically active a lot. Okay, supplement exercise. I cannot lift heavy things. That sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it was bad because I was gonna tell you to be good at Genji, you actually have to run a daily marathon.
Fuck.
Yeah, sorry, dude. That's actually, they never tell you those things. You got to be a weeb and you got to run your daily marathon. So.
Oh, man. Well, I can do one of those.
You're screwed. You're screwed. I hope not. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so okay, let's put it this way. What questions do you have for me so far? Do you have any questions for me so far?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Going to gameplay.
So let's talk about structure, training schedule. Yeah. So we talked already about hero pool. That was the big, ugly, nasty one. But you play a pretty decent amount of Overwatch per day. So I want to know, like, what is that broken down into? Is it all ranked? Do you play with friends? Do you do quick play? Do you do deathmatch? Where are you at?
I don't like quick play. I do pretty much only comp. I don't really even queue into deathmatch either. Like, I do a little bit in the training range just to make sure I'm warm, but
okay. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna mess with success. I would say that, like, if you ever felt cold on a day or start to have troubles with like being warm, then the first thing you should do is deathmatch.
If I do feel cold, I just get aim labs. I do extra.
Okay, works for me. I will say though that's not, aim labs ain't gonna fix your Genji Tracer aim.
True.
So just keep that in mind. If that's a Genji, if it's a Genji training week or an Echo training week or a Tracer touch, I don't want you touching aim labs. I want deathmatch, 1 game, 2 games of deathmatch, and then just ranked, because it's just aim labs ain't gonna help with that. That's a little detail. And then you say just basically ranked.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you take breaks?
How so? Like 5-minute or like 10-minute breaks?
Yes,
like
yes, to everything. Do you take long breaks, short breaks, medium breaks? Do you take breaks to breathe? Do you take breaks to go to the bathroom? Do you just sit on a bucket? Like, I want to know, like, the whole, like, what's the whole routine?
Yeah. It's kind of just perma queuing unless I need to eat or go to the bathroom, in which case I take a small break. But
okay. Here's what I would recommend.
Yeah.
Move towards, because you're playing a lot quantity wise.
Right.
Move towards closer, having, especially the first like couple of hours, taking a couple of breaks. Especially like if you could take breaks even in queues, that's something that I'm always a fan of, right? Like, you're like, what? Get up for 60 seconds and move, right? Run that marathon, right? Right. Throw that 500-pound bag around, and but just seriously, for 60 seconds, try to get up, grab some water or whatever, and then make the first 2 to 3 hours count. Anything after that is fluff, essentially. But make the first 2 to 3 hours count. Your fights, you're fully focused on a specific habit or a specific goal. You're trying to take short breaks. You're drinking water. You're playing the characters that you want to practice that week. So for example, I actually look at your character hero pool, and I don't have a problem if you literally played all those characters in one day. However, if today is a Genji day, or this week is a Genji week, the first 2 to 3 hours need to be Genji saturated. Anything after that, I don't give a rip what you play. You could one-trick monkey on an alt account. I don't care. But the first couple of hours, your practice time, when you have that energy, when you have that focus before things start to devolve, and it's just like just playing to play, it needs to be the more important. So always front load the most important thing that you're doing with breaks, with specific goals that you're focusing on, and then the back half or whatever you want to do for fun, it really doesn't matter. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. All right.
Okay. And remember, I'm kind of giving you like 2 to 3 hours and take a break between every game and focus on this. Like that's a lot of like, I'm like, it's like I'm like the drill sergeant that's showing up in your bedroom and telling you to get out of bed. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect right now. I'm just saying like you want to migrate a little bit towards that direction, right?
Right.
Just do better than what you're doing right now. And see how it goes. And then what you can also do is over time, you'll tweak it to fit what works better for you, right? Like I'm not gonna say, hey, 2 to 3 hours, everybody's gonna, only just that's kind of what works for most people. But tweak with it, over the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Find what works better for you. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like I personally generally have like a much shorter fuse. Not gonna lie. I can like maybe it's just because of how busy I am with other stuff, but like I can go like 5, 6, 7 ranked games, 8 ranked games tops with like focus, and then after that I got nothing.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I was working less, and this was more of like I was just playing for my own rank and I wasn't like content and streaming and all that stuff. I could play for like 3 or 4 hours generally with like good, but I can't do that anymore. So anyway, okay. I don't have any other questions for you. Do you have any questions for me?
Nothing that immediately jumps to mind.
Okay, so schedule, hero pool, those are the big two. Make some tweaks with those, toy with them. You don't even necessarily need to do everything at once. You could just make one of the changes that we talked about, like the hero pool change, the training time change, the break change, and just stick with it. We want to build like something that you'll stick with for a long time, and not just something that like, hey, that was fun, and then anyway, we want to be consistent with it. Okay. Yeah, you want to shoot me a code?
Yeah, okay. So I've got 5 here.
Oh my days.
I don't expect to go through
That's
all
okay.
of them.
We'll see what we get through.
Yeah, okay. So this first one is rough. It's
all right.
I said fuck it, I'm picking Echo no matter what.
All right.
I went into a pocketed cast. So
that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Echo can work. Echo can work. Yeah. I like Echo personally. So now let me get this started here. I'm going to ask you this question that I feel like I shouldn't ask because of the rank that you're at, but I'm going to ask it because you play so many heroes that I'm not confident that you really understand the heroes. So what is Echo good at? What is the character good
at? She's good at bursts. Like she can really blow up targets with a sticky E combo.
Yeah.
I know she can kind of like flank. She's good like overhead, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. What else?
What kind of a range does she generally play at? This is a trick question.
I mean, she can kind of play all, doesn't she?
Yeah, you get me?
Yeah. Because like,
very dynamic
left
hero.
click, it's hard to hit, but you can work in long ranges.
I look
like an Ana.
I look at Echo as the first Overwatch 2 hero. That's kind of what I look at with Echo, where she fits that deathmatchy dynamic, some not really dive, not really spam, kind of floats in between, very fluid kit, right? I look at Echo as like the first Overwatch 2 hero. And so if you're playing Echo as like a raw spam character, like just playing in the back and spamming tanks, you're missing out. If you're playing Echo as a full dive, assassinate, flank, go kill backline, you're missing out. If you're not utilizing your ability to go, like you were saying, use your verticality, flank up, spam the tank line, then you're trolling. And I think the enemy composition is a perfect example. Can you spam a Ramatra? Oh my days, yes. You can absolutely ruin his life. Can you spam a Mei? Kind of, yes. can you dive a Cassidy, a Kiriko, a Mercy? Yes, you can. In fact, I wouldn't want to poke a Cassidy too much, right? Because that could be kind of tricky, right? Now, but the irony is that even versus something like a Cassidy, if you had like heal pocket, I wouldn't be hesitating to throw a couple of shots at him, you know? Try a shot with, you could do some damage there, and then later on looking for some verticality. So the key thing with Echo is it's like finding that balance and seeing what the composition and what the map provides to you. Is it going to provide you the ability to dive? Is it going to provide you the ability to spam? Is it going to provide you the ability to do both? The last Echo VOD review I actually did was a review on stream where the Echo, it was a Master's Echo, and was basically just diving when the enemy tank was like literally frontlining, like so far in front of their team. And I was like, mate, shoot the tank, force the tank back, then dive. Right? And so it's like, if you turn your brain off and just lock into one play style, you're really missing out.
Right. Also, I don't know if it is worth noting here, but I am duoed with the Orisa.
It doesn't matter that much, but I appreciate that. Okay, so looking at their composition, I would ask you, but we kind of already broke it down, so let's just see what happens. If any questions come up, just solid.
All right.
You're thinking about it.
Yeah.
You're thinking about it. Now you've got options here. Give me 4 options for positioning. And then let's choose the best one. All right, 4 options.
Okay. Could walk through hotel.
Walk through hotel. Risks, reward. What's the benefits of this?
Could possibly get a quick kill. It definitely gets attention.
Yeah, attention, space, possible kill, more of a dive burst value, right? Very high risk, very high reward. Okay, give me another option.
I feel like whenever I go for that, I die though. So.
But the question would be, how do you go for it? Do you have your shift? Did you play cover? Did you time it well?
Right.
All right. I think in theory,
don't just like shift out. Man.
Right. In theory, it should be a good play when executed well. High risk, but a good play. All right. Give me another option. So I think this one gets like, it's a decent play. Maybe an A for me. Give me another option.
Okay. Maybe shift up in the air, like back a bit, so I'm out of Cass's range.
I mean, do you even need to do that here?
I have no idea. I don't.
You know, I'm not even sure.
Maybe go around right, look for
so here.
Shots. Yeah, that way. Yeah.
What do you think about this? Spam, right?
Yeah, spam.
Good or bad?
Against a pocketed cast, maybe not.
Could work. You know, you could get some stickies, can get some decent spam value. You won't die because you have cover here, but it does feel like it would be pretty easy to poke you out, right?
Right.
So medium risk, honestly, medium risk, low reward, kind of. Doesn't really feel. So I would say B for a grade. Right. C plus, not that great, not bad, but not that great. Right. What about just standing here and shooting tank, shooting shield?
Yeah, I could.
You could.
That's another thing. That
feels low risk of low reward, right? So maybe again C plus B. Not that great, not that bad. Give me another option. Think of something think a little bit more about the map.
Right. I don't think about this in the moment, but I was thinking, like, looking at it now, maybe like go for a height.
Yeah. Like, what about here and shifting up to here immediately?
Would that work?
Good. Yeah. Right. Now you would have Kiriko and Life Favor healing. You would have to wait a second. You'd have to be very careful. But do you see how like now I can shoot tank at the back without peeking the Cassidy? You see that?
What if Cassidy swings me?
but how is the Cassidy going to swing you here?
Right.
Is he going to walk all the way up here? No, he's not going to walk all the way up there. Right? You also have the option to dive here too, right? Because what could you do from here?
Right, you could go around back.
You could go around back. You could even deepen and deepen and deepen and so on, right? So I would give this I would say this is medium risk, medium reward. Right. What grade would you give this?
Well, it's something I haven't even thought of, so it's already higher in my book.
But that doesn't mean that it's good because you haven't thought of it, right? Think about objectively, what are the chances that this is going to be good versus bad? What do you think?
Probably better because it just diverts attention.
B plus or A maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
So when we look at this here, I wouldn't mind you spamming a little bit here, but I would like to see you going for this, or I would like to see you going for this. I'm not going to cry if you don't do either of those options, but I think you're missing out on value. Right, now, this is why we talked about the hero pool thing as being a potential problem, because you see how this was hard and not only difficult, but unique positioning to the character that you're playing.
Right.
This is a very common flank for DPS, but how an Echo does it versus how a Genji or Tracer or a Cassidy does it, there's a difference, right? And obviously something like this is almost completely unique to Echo. If I'm Hanzo, I can't get here. I think Genji maybe could do it, but Genji would also not get as much out of it because how much damage could you poke a tank from this angle? It would be something. It would be an okay play for Genji. But honestly, if I'm playing Genji here, I'm probably going to lean more into something like this. Right. But you get what I'm saying, right?
Right.
Very unique to Echo that's character. So that's kind of what I'm saying. All right. I mean, this is fine, but you kind of see like, I mean, okay, first off, he's pocketed.
I forgot I just get.
Yeah, you need to play. You could have played covered better. I do think this is a little bit unlucky. I will be honest with you. I don't think this was a bad play. I think you got a little bit unlucky. You could have played cover a little bit better for sure. You also, I mean, yeah, you just got two tapped.
Yeah.
But the key thing here is that regardless of whether you got unlucky or not, there were better options on the table. Let's put it that way.
Right, right.
You're most of the time not going to get two tapped there, but we can still be like, we should have been elsewhere.
Right.
We're not really concerned about the results. Okay. Spam. And you could even go, hey, they're pushing up to here. This looks a lot sexier.
Right.
You see this? This is now upgraded to a solid B for me, you know? Because they're a little bit closer.
Right, okay.
You got me?
No, I go for the flank.
And you see here, what's the problem with what you're doing right now? It's not the idea of the flank. It's not even the timing of the flank necessarily. It's an alright time. It's not, maybe a little early, but it's okay. What's the problem though?
Ability usage? Or just too far?
Yes and yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's too far. You need to be here. And because you're here, you might hit your abilities.
I think that's my Valorant brain speaking, because I'm always so used to like playing far from an angle to make it a harder shot for them.
right. But this
but that's hit scan.
If you were Ashe, you would be trolling.
Right.
You would want to be here. Even Cassidy, I would probably say gets a little closer, but like an Ashe or a Hanzo, maybe it's a little bit scarier, right? But you're not. You're Echo. So this angle in theory is good. You even create some space from it, but it makes no sense with the character that you're playing.
Because I just whiff everything, yeah.
Right. I also a little bit of a detail here.
Yeah. They
don't really give you much attention. I mean, they do give you attention, but I think I might hold here.
Yeah.
If you got the HP, your shift, and the mini, I think I stay here. Make them get rid of you. You kind of see what I'm saying? Because they turn around for a second, and then you go back, but they just go back and peek again, right?
Right.
Like go back out. You've got your stickies and go again, and then you still have your shift. You still have the mini health back. I think you can stay here a little bit longer. So then you're not like, well, this sucks, right?
Right.
Because this is like
now I'm gonna get looked at.
This isn't really good at all. Like this is not because you kind of feel like this feels really kind of crappy.
Right.
It's not the worst position in the world, but you had to use your shift to get there. You probably should have died to Cassidy right there.
Probably should have.
Yeah. And then again here, right? You see how you guys have pushed them back? Where should you be right now?
On the flank.
On the flank again, right?
Yeah.
On the flank again. You had your stickies, you forced them back, go again. Reasonable. I mean, I know you're down your tank, so you might die for this, but because they push forward, this looks good to me.
I beef it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. You're down your tank. 5 was lost either way. Yeah. But this kind of stuff sucks. Like, this is how you would like shoot a Winston or a Reaper or just like spam a brick of Torb turret and stuff, Yeah, nothing about this. Nothing about this. Right, you're Hail Marrying, and you know who is a little bit better at this Hail Mary? This guy. You know, this guy's gonna light you up from this position, right? You're not playing to your strengths at all. Like, remember, because this is why I said this is the Overwatch 2 character, because Overwatch 2 characters have dynamics.
Right, I remember watching a Life Weaver video about it.
And your strength is dependent on what you're playing versus. Your strength here is not your range.
Right.
Your strength is really your mobility and your dive burst potential. So right here, you are playing a dangerous game, my friend. But if you were to do something stupid like this versus like Reaper Moira, I'd be flaming the crap out of you, right? I'd be like, just take here and spam, go over here and just spam, right?
Yeah.
Like you see how like because even shooting main here isn't too bad because the wall's off the spam. You're avoiding the Cassidy sightlines, and so you get big sticky value. Oh my days. But yeah, I mean this is just. I mean it's all right. I mean, it's a fine copy. I would have liked to have you have taken a more aggressive position first. I think if you're gonna basically play on main, Ramatra is probably the better copy.
Yeah, even with decreased health.
Even with decreased health, because Nemesis form. I'm gonna show you.
Oh, you still get the 200 armor.
Oh, you sure do. Check this out.
Oh shit.
Yes, yeah, and see, I was gonna be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't show you because it'll take too long to build ult. No, it won't, because new and improved practice range. Love it. Okay. Ram. Right? Check it.
300. 520. Fuck off. Are you serious?
Yes. And it is so easy to build this ultimate. Check this out. Look
No
at my ult
wonder I
charge.
can't
One
kill
punt.
Echo when I'm playing Ramatra.
Right. Yeah. Check this out. Check this out.
Yeah. Nope.
Oh no. No. That's kind of a weird interaction there. You build your ultimate while you're in ultimate? Okay. Check this out. One punch on this. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm like, why can't I copy the trading bot? Check this out. 10%.
Jesus.
And you put your E, any sort of thing, you're gonna get it. So
oh my god.
Yeah. So highly recommend copying Ramatra. Obviously the ult's good, but it's mostly any tank that gets survivability from where are we at? King's Row, yeah.
Yeah.
Any tank that gets their survivability from like their utility, not just their raw HP, is generally a pretty good copy. Diva's not a bad copy. Even Zarya isn't a terrible copy because you still get both 200 HP bubbles, right? I wouldn't recommend it, but it's something. But again, you wouldn't know that because you don't play enough Echo, right? Right? You don't know these things. Okay, let's see what we got here. So yeah, generally like if you're gonna play something like a Kiriko or copy a DPS or a support, try to take an aggressive position first so that you can guaranteed get value out of the character. Because you gotta see like you just kind of like heal botted, shot shield, and that's pretty much all you did, right?
Yeah.
And at that point, you might as well just play Echo, right? One of the stickies of all time.
I'm surprised by how much I've stickied my own maze wall.
It's been beautiful. It's been beautiful.
Yeah.
They look so pretty though, so I don't blame you. Nice stickies. Okay. Any questions
I feel like I
so
could
far?
just chuck them. Nah.
Now, why doesn't this work?
Because I'm playing range.
And what's the other reason why this doesn't work?
They've got spam, and I'm kind of.
Who's tanking here? You see what I'm saying? So not only are you tanking versus a composition where this is not what you want to be doing, but you're also just tanking. You're going early at range. Sayonara. Again, is that unlucky? Yes, I guarantee that was a headshot, right? He hit a headshot on you.
I'm pretty sure he hit a headshot and I got body shot.
And body shot by me. Oh, not even.
No,
not even.
Yeah, damage
wow.
boosted.
Not even.
Damage versus body.
Plus May, you know? And you weren't quite full HP. But yeah, I mean, it ain't that deep, you know?
Yeah.
Time to peak. Now, obviously, this is brutal, right? And you're...
Right.
There aren't a lot of good solutions here. So what are your options? Let's go through the grade system. Let's do a little bit faster this time. 3 options.
Right. Flank.
Yep.
Stay main or switch.
Right. So grade main.
Not that great.
Not that great. Not as bad versus this composition because it's a poke comp. So you don't really want to be taking like nice long juicy sides. You can just spam tank from here. It's not terrible, right? Maybe C plus. Okay.
College grades.
What about this?
Probably better now that they're not looking at me.
Timing is better, but still has the problem of it doesn't really provide you dive bomb solutions, right?
Yeah.
So C minus.
I can just get spammed.
Right. So this is one of the situations where playing main would literally be better than taking an angle here.
Right.
Because at least playing main shortens your sightlines up a little bit to where you don't have to peek as much, right? Now, what do you think about what you're doing right now?
High risk, high reward again.
Yeah. So what kind of a grade?
A question mark.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd give it an A. I would say a B.
All right,
but that's the best, probably the best option that we have.
Yeah.
You know, it's a nasty choke. You know, just because it's a B doesn't mean it's not the right play. It's just
right.
So let's time the sucker well. It looks like you're going to go a little bit late. Please hit your stickies. When I'm begging you to hit, just calm down, relax, and hit even just 2 or 3. It's my final offer. Hit the stickies.
Shit.
Because this is fine. Because look, right? You force Kiri out, you get this. This is fine. This is fine.
Yeah,
So,
I forgot that I like giggle with it.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Nice job. But good flank. Seriously though,
Yeah.
that was the play.
Yeah, it ended up working.
And you timed it perfectly. You were just a teeny bit late, so nobody was thinking about you.
Right.
You know? Love to see it.
I got you.
Love to see it.
Yeah.
That's a real hero, by the way.
Yep.
Real hero. I that's actually ridiculous. How he just is like, yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how good Yamato is now.
Yeah, this is stupid.
Okay.
I mean, you guys are all the way back. Okay, well, you tell me. You tell me.
Okay. How is this stupid? Let's see here.
Close your eyes. Where's your team?
I don't have to close them. I don't see them.
You basically have your eyes closed anyway. Yeah. You're not okay. Like now, come on. You're not really fighting this right now, right? You got a life weaver in point. They're way over here. It just isn't a fight going on right now, right?
Okay. This is what I'm talking about with like things that I just miss.
All right.
Like,
all right. That's all right. So you know, you really you want to use copy this fight. You want to like let's go.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, okay, what do you want to do with this copy? You tell me. Who, when, where, how?
Well, now based on actual knowledge, I have Ramacho's a pretty good one.
Yeah, Ramacho, good copy. Let's set up a Ramacho copy. Okay, when do you do it? Where do you do it?
Not right now.
Right. Why not?
Because I don't have my
right.
I don't have my
So just chill. Just chill. You know your Kiriko's even far away, right? And also, if you copy Ramacho, really, what can you do here? You're gonna run all the way into their spawn, push into their choke?
Yeah, I
no.
can't.
You're getting free cart push. Just chill.
Yeah.
Okay. So then again, when? You tell me. You tell me when. You tell me when.
Like when they Kitsune maybe. Or...
When would you do it? When would you do it? Let's just let it play from right here. When would you do it?
I'd maybe hold it a little bit, like right about now.
Yeah. I think that's a perfect time, right? Things are getting a little messy. They're starting to push back in. Hit him in the mouth. Now this is the trickiest one, and I don't think there's a very clear answer with this one. Where?
Where?
Where would you copy, Ryan? Because remember, you're a flying character. You can copy wherever you want.
Right. Probably.
It's tough, isn't it?
Honestly.
Okay, so just stacked over here. Yeah, looks okay to me. If maybe there might be opportunities where you utilize the high ground here. A little bit scary though, because you are a little bit split from your supports. But there are times, like for example, let's say you copy Kiriko instead of Ramacho. Please do not copy Kiriko here.
I just get spammed.
Right. There's no point. You just heal bot. You're right. You shoot tank. We saw that earlier. You would copy Kiriko here. And we see
it again.
You would copy Kiriko here. You DPS Kiriko on backline, right? You DPS Kiriko, and then that way you're actually like playing to your character's strengths. For example, if you were to copy Ana, right? Not a bad copy, right? You'd copy Ana here. I mean, imagine like just the easy 4-man nade that you get here, and then they couldn't shoot you, and then you heal them, and you sleep the ram in the back. But why would you copy an Ana over here, right?
Right.
You kind of see what I'm saying?
I just remembered I had Overwatch open. Someone just invited me.
Yeah.
Close the game. Okay, here we go.
Okay. But yeah, you see the problem here is that it's not the Kiriko is a bad copy.
Right.
But you copy Kiriko before the fight even starts, and then also drop off of the high ground when you copy the Kiriko, so that you may easier die and or heal bot better, which makes no sense.
DPS, by the way.
Right. I mean, maybe if you're copying a Moira, this would be okay. Like you're gonna heal bot your tank, but even then, I think I would go more for like aggression. So yeah.
Right. Like
yeah. Anyway. The other thing too is you got to remember that like your character this is like a get out of jail free card, right? So that you can sometimes position in like more. No, I'm sorry, the ultimate, right? So you can position in like these more aggressive spots because you know that I'm not going to get punished for it, right? Like even if I die, I'm still going to come out as Echo with shift and whatever HP I had. Now you got to be careful here.
I remember just feeling like I threw here. Like,
well,
like
why? What kind of position are you in right now? Is this spam or dive?
Dive.
Kind of. Are you
also,
in a position
I just don't like. I just don't like where I am here.
Right. There's no cover. You're not really close to this Cassidy. You don't have stickies. You're just standing out in the open. You're dead.
I die here.
You're dead.
Easily.
Yeah. Still winnable. Stickies of all time.
Stickies of all time. Bro, where's my Ryan comp? I want to play Ryan.
So this is where, if you wanted to, yeah, exactly. If this is where you want to dive.
Because they're down too, right?
Right. Where would you shift to?
Up.
Up and where?
To the catwalks. I mean.
See, your problem is that if I ask you, hey, where should you go? You always come up with the right answers. That's the classic positioning problem. Everybody knows the good positioning, almost always.
Yeah.
But they don't do it.
Right.
And that's the problem. That's what you have to address. That's what you have to go into those. Remember, we talked about the first couple of hours, first couple of games, and I'm going to think about positioning. And obviously, it's easy to do it now because we're relaxing and we're just talking. Right. And when you're not sure, you get time to think about it. You don't always get time to think about it in game, but you know what? You should take time to. Even if that slows you up, even if you miss more shots, even if you're late to the party because you're too busy thinking about the angle you hold, good. Because if you keep practicing that, you won't have to think about it anymore. You'll get fast at it. You'll build pattern recognition. That's what learning is. It's pattern recognition. It's not like you start to go, oh, I can do these things. I mean, I see that immediately, right? That's why sometimes good players don't make good coaches, is because they are good, but they don't remember what decisions they had to make to get to be good. Right? And so they don't know how to replicate that, right? So this is bad because you shift forward into the middle of the open. So the problem with your positioning was a lack of cover usage. But I promise you, if you go back and look at this, you would have been like, oh yeah, I should have been near cover. Okay, so then why weren't you doing better cover in the moment? Because you weren't thinking about cover in the moment. You were thinking about hitting your shots.
Right. I was thinking about, okay.
Right. The goal is to think so that you don't have to think. Because we want positioning to be as automatic as your aim. And that means in the meantime, you might have to spend a lot of time thinking. But that doesn't mean that you need to be thinking all the time. You see, I think one of the most common misconceptions is that people think that, like, oh, my problem is that I don't think enough in game. I autopilot. I hear that all the time. No, that's the end goal. You want to autopilot in game. The problem is that you need to think more so that you can autopilot more things.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. You autopilot your positioning. That's good. But your autopilot right now sucks. Upgrade your autopilot and positioning by thinking more about it so that you don't have to think about your positioning anymore. And you can go back to thinking about shooting again.
Okay. And
the same thing applies to your stickies, your ultimate, who you're ultimating, when you're ultimating. Ultimating, that's one of the words of all time. You know, your timing with your tank, right? You got to autopilot those skills. You got to think about them. I love your positioning here. Gives you good spam options, gives you good dive options. You can spam a Bastion, right? You can spam a Zarya, right? But yet you still feel like you can potentially threaten that Cassidy if he falls asleep at the wheel, right?
I was actually very aware of the Cassidy, and I didn't want to peek him at all. Just
this is great, right? Look at the spam value you're getting right now. This is phenomenal. And what could the Cassidy do about you?
Not much.
Right.
Just shoot tank.
Right. This is why, you know, even things like pharmacy, like going hit scan isn't always just a simple option. These characters they can move around your hit scan. You know, one of the stickies of all time. Now.
It was the zoning sticky.
It was the zoning sticky, right? That part of the map is inaccessible. Again, good stickies, unironically.
Right.
You know, it's funny because you look at this and you're like, who's getting more spam value, me or the Cassidy right now? It's kind of tricky, right?
Yeah.
And you're not damage boosted. And he is. Cassidy could fly. He would. He can't. You can. Right. You're using that. And because of that, you're getting close to the same amount of tank damage that he is. And that's awesome.
Right.
There it is. Look at that. You just traded tanks. It's good. One of the stickies of all time. Now, you've got options here. Low risk, low reward. Stay exactly where you're at. Pokety, 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 pokety. Maybe something happens.
Yeah, I feel like if I move here, I die because of the gas.
Well, just give me another option just in case. Just for the sake of argument.
All right. Yeah. Like the first thing that jumps out to me that would lead to death is trying to shift over to that other height.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Now, one thing I have noticed with your tech that you're a little bit slow with, that you could speed up. Are you aware of the shift tech with Echo?
The shift tech.
The cancel with shift.
I know I can cancel it.
Watch this.
That's about
shift.
It. Yeah.
You get some momentum, but if you combo that with jump, you can actually go a little bit faster and further. So watch. You see that? See how much faster I launch myself?
Oh, that's actual attack? What the fuck?
Yeah, so you jump. Look at my cooldown on my shift and watch my movement. Ready? Ready for this?
Yeah.
You see how fast I move horizontally?
Oh, that's fucking crazy.
Very fast. Now, you don't have to cancel it to do that, but you do need to jump. So watch.
Okay, well, I do that. Okay.
Jump, shift, cancel, but you can also have it to where it's hold the flight on Echo. And the second I release it, it basically removes an extra key press. So what I'll do is I will go spacebar shift and then release shift. Okay, so watch. Spacebar shift and release shift. Just like that. And if you're thinking, oh, I can't get to there because I'm over here, well, that's because you're not using this tech properly. I mean, you can even do a head swivel. So there's the Widowmaker, the Cassie, right?
Right.
Right? There's my opportunity. And that's more than almost double the distance between the high grounds that you're actually doing.
It's fucking crazy.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, these are the kind of things that you need to know if you're playing Echo.
Right, right.
And you don't have the knowledge. Now, you don't need to know every single little detail, but this is a pretty big one that you should be doing, and you're not exploiting it because you don't know it. And the reason you don't know it is because you don't play enough Echo. So spend your Genji week, your Echo week, your Bastion week learning the more important of the text and the movement and the positioning. And the other thing too is like practice, you know, okay, where should I position here? Where should I position there? You need reps on that. Because right now, do you want to go to the opposite high ground? Maybe, maybe not. But if you wanted to, if you could, you don't know how to.
Right.
I don't have a problem with what you're doing right now. It's fine. I don't even have a problem with this copy necessarily. It's fine. But I just wonder if this was an option, what you would have done.
Right.
Obviously, I understand why you drop. You're like, oh, they're just gonna hide from me. I want to try and leverage my nade. I get it. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
I get it. It's fine. And it's also a comfort pick for you too.
Is that right click as Zarya bubble?
I mean, it works. Like let's not be honest. Let's be honest here. You're not exactly doing this because it's like smart. It's just stupid aggression to create space. Maybe get a pick.
Yeah.
It's fine. The irony is that it actually makes sense, right? You're just going in there and causing chaos. Pray for the best. I would actually prioritize Bastion here over Mercy when you're this close.
Yeah.
Because they will not be able to keep him up if you land full stickies.
Really?
No, yeah, they won't be able to keep him.
Even with Ironclad?
No, yeah, no. He's dead. Suzu might save him, but Suzu could also save Mercy too, right? Yeah. So I just think and he's also a much higher risk target, so you need to focus him down. Just a target priority kind of thing. It's the same thing as like you would shoot a Widowmaker there, right?
Right.
Because they can't keep her up. She's too squishy, right?
I don't even think I noticed the Bastion there.
Yeah, that's a problem. But that's okay. Not the end of the world.
Right.
Unfortunate death. I thought you were hiding. I think you thought you were hiding too, but it's whatever.
Yeah, I was trying to hide, but I think either he moved towards me or I pressed
It's a stupid error, but ironically, I know you talked about, oh, I died too many times to stupid things. I'm actually not as interested in truly stupid errors, right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm interested in like stuff that like, okay, you should have or could have played around that one better if you had better corner usage or better high ground usage or were thinking about off angles and things like that. So.
Yeah, it's like the quick play game I played earlier today in Sojourn where I accidentally jumped off Lijiang Tower 3 times.
Right. So what?
It's
you know,
like,
it happens.
Yeah, it's
right.
like I fucked up my shift. That's
right. Exactly. You go next. Okay, so we're kind of like the halfway point here. Do you want to keep going with Echo, or do you want to move on to a different character?
I kind of want to move on to a different character.
Okay, so let's wrap this up, but let's give you some stuff to work on
Right.
with Echo though. So Echo, what are some things that you need to practice? Actionable, specific skills.
Proactive positioning, I would say, is like
Proactive positioning.
the biggest one. Just like looking for more flank opportunities, like in the moment. Like you said, it's easy to see it in replay when it's like guided through, but other than that, it's kind of difficult to see it in the moment. Leveraging specific strengths regarding team comm. This is something I suck at just in general. Like I remember hearing you talk about it beforehand, but like especially with certain characters that I'm not entirely familiar with, I don't know their like all their strengths.
Yep. I'm gonna tie that one in together with the proactive positioning, because I think that the position if you think about the strengths and the map, that will then tell you how to position.
Right.
So I'm gonna piggyback those two. Look at the comp, look at the situation, pick a position. Look at the comp, look at the situation or the map, pick a position. That's what I want you to do. And try to do that as the fight's starting or before the fight starts. And remember, you don't need to make the right choice. You need to practice making choices.
Right.
It's not about getting the math problem right. It's about thinking about it and practicing the thought process of calculating numbers over and over again until you start getting it right. But don't be scared to like make a mistake and that's actually a really bad spot, or I feed it, or actually that one doesn't make any sense. Learn from it, learn from the mistake, but don't be scared of making them.
I'll hit plat trying to do it, but it'll be worth it in the end.
Exactly. And the irony here is that we've already seen that you're not exactly choosing good positions as it is right now. So you will be slower, but you'll probably be more accurate even right from the get-go.
Yeah.
So I mean, you'll play a little worse, but I'm not convinced that you'll play it that much worse.
Right.
Okay, what else would that go?
Is that a copy targets? That's a smaller thing in
targets
comparison.
Pick a target and set it up. Time it well.
Would Lifeweaver be a good target?
I have no idea. I feel like it'd be really easy to build ult with him.
Right, because his tree is kind of busted.
Yeah. Maybe you could like shift the high ground and pick Lifeweaver, and then like I feel like it'd be really, really easy to like just heal bot and get the ult really fast. I'm not sure.
Maybe reposition another.
But you know what? That falls into our positioning mindset, right? Go try it out. See what happens. Right. Maybe it's a major int. I don't know. Give it a shot.
Yeah.
Because you could also, like, let's say you build tree. You could just lunge into their team and just start like going full DPS mode with your overheal. And he does
tree and flank.
Tree and flank, right? Like if you get tree and then just drop in there, you have your overhealth from the tree. You're like you're a demon with that damage, you know.
I've called that in a quick play when I'm playing Genji. Just like, wait, tree backline, I'm going in.
Yeah. So like it could be worth a shot. So okay. Anything else with Echo? Those are the big two. Any other details?
Hit stickies.
Yes, hit stickies, aka chill.
Yeah.
I just think you're just kind of throwing them out there, you know?
Yeah, I do just kind of chuck them just because like they're on a lower cooldown.
Yeah, and you should be using them almost off of cooldown, but do try to aim them a little bit better.
Right. Yeah. Long range is difficult, and I think
it is. A little bit of effort goes a long way. Okay, what do you want to go over next?
Determining. Do I want to do Genji? Genji, I feel like Genji's rough in this with Alari out, but that might just be cope. I don't know.
I think it's it depends. By himself, yes. Not by himself, no. I actually think it's quite good versus Iliari. But like, let's put it this way: you're not going to be solo diving and killing an Iliari. But compared to like a Tracer, you're gonna have a much easier time dueling her and actually like breaking turret kind of a thing.
Right, okay. Let's see. I put notes. Let's see. What is this? This is Echo Ash. Echo Widow. There's a lot of Echo here. Okay, I don't know if I actually saved a Genji one. Maybe we just go with an Ash.
Works for me.
Let's see here. Ash game felt like couldn't break through on attack at all. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's do this one. This is Shimbali. Let's get this.
Okay.
And also, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick.
Sure, works for me.
Ready. Thanks.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, welcome back. Good news.
I feel like I switched.
Good news.
I think I switched within 5 seconds.
The Genji? No.
Yeah.
I skimmed through. You play it
Oh,
all
nah,
the way
wait.
through.
Wait.
Oh yes, it's
shit.
Morbin time. Let's go. So you actually swap after a fight of Echo and then go right to Genji. And actually, Genji's fairly decent versus this. Like shortish range. At least at the first point, you can actually like close the distance. You got an Ashe to dive, Mercy BAP. Obviously, Mercy and Pharmacy is like, you know, whatever it is, what it is. But
Right,
like, yeah, it's reasonable.
yeah.
BAP Ashe are favorable matchups, and obviously like you can off angle and Ramattra as well. Okay, well,
All right.
let's make this
Time to get
easy.
flamed.
Genji
Yeah.
versus Echo. Genji is similar to Echo in terms of playstyle, but where are the adjustments that you would say? Where's Genji stronger? Where's Genji weaker?
Genji's probably better in closer
Yes.
1v1 duels.
Yes, he's more consistent. Echo has like a big spike and brawl with that sticky beam combo, way better than Genji.
Right.
But Genji's way more consistent at pressure, and short range. So yes, okay. What about range poke?
I can left click choke. That's about it.
Not good. A lot worse than Echo. Not as bad as a Tracer, not as bad as a Reaper. It's not terrible. It is something that you will leverage a lot of the time, but it's not the most effective use of your kit, right? So definitely more of a shotgun hero. Now, let's lean into your mobility. Compare Echo mobility to Genji mobility.
I'd say mine is, or like Dash is a bit better just because it deals damage on top of closing distance really quickly.
Well, don't forget, it's not just that. It's your double jump, your wall climb too.
Right, double jump and wall climb.
What I would say is that Echo has that vertical mobility, right, which is really valuable. But I think Genji's mobility is a lot more reliable. Let's put it that way. A lot more flexible. And why is that important? This one might be a hard one to answer. I want you to chew on it for a little bit.
Why is it more reliable?
Think about it this way. When you don't have shift as Echo, how do you play?
Scared,
right? You either have shift or you don't. That's it.
Yeah,
it's that black and white. With Genji,
Genji, you can kind of bob and weave.
And if we're talking about like survivability, you got deflect too, right? So you kind of see what I'm saying. Genji has
deflect, but yeah,
Genji has a lot more survivability options, which allows him to play a little bit more consistent pressure. Again, kind of like we were talking about with the damage, right? Where like an Echo is big burst, big powerful mobility, and then she's got Genji's got wall climb, he's got double jump, he's got deflect, he's got dash. You know, he's got a lot of survivability tools that allow him to kind of be more consistently evolved, way more get out of jail free cards than an Echo does. And so that's kind of like what we're looking to leverage. So you're like thinking, hey, I can either get in here and dash and go for the kill on BAP Ashe and maybe get out. Echo? No way, she's dead, right?
Yeah, right.
The other thing you could do is because your mobility is so much more consistent, let's say you could magically teleport over here, right?
Yeah.
Where your junk rate is. An Echo without shift, right? Or an Echo with shift would be able to shift out and maybe live. You have like 75 trillion ways to stay here, right? You could dash, you could deflect, you could drop, wall climb up and over. You could wall climb up and over here and slide down. Like there's so many things that you could do to hold an angle or a flank longer. Not as long as a Tracer, but like you're way better than Echo in terms of just staying.
Right. I think I just push cart here.
Love it.
No one else.
I mean, somebody's got to push cart, you know, so.
Yeah.
What is going on? Is your... Oh, you're on it? Just like...
What? Wait,
Wait for your... Okay, now she goes. She must have been healing somebody else. Now, this is stupid. This is respectfully really stupid. I don't mind you shooting the Pharah, like, because she's close, I guess. But, like, you got to know your matchups, right? You got to know you got to know, like, where is my value, like, actually good? Because, like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna kill Pharah? You're not gonna kill Pharah.
No.
So okay,
no.
and especially
not with the Mercy pocket.
And especially now. Okay, congrats, you didn't kill Pharah, but you pushed her out. Wake up. Where should you be looking?
Probably towards BAP. Oh,
BAP,
this is
right?
next
BAP.
turn.
Even, honestly,
Yeah.
even Ramantra would be a better use of your time right now because you're a shotgun here, right? You could do a lot of damage to a tank over his head. So wall climb up here.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. What is this? My man is just
Yeah,
like.
what- he's
Well, I
just
mean, he's
standing.
just chilling, right? My man is just like. What's
Actual
up?
donk stand.
Yeah, like seriously, he's like alpha. He's T-posing. But like this is such a massive waste of your time.
Right.
Even
Yeah,
shooting the
he's
Ramantra,
switch,
like
switch.
I wonder how close. But look at that. You could have killed this guy. Look how low
Mm-hmm.
he gets if you looked at him a full 2 seconds earlier. Watch. Oh, man.
Oh, he has no cooldowns. What the fuck?
64 HP. That is one right click away. Come on. And that's not even considering the Batiste, which was just a better pick, period.
Right.
All right? You got to know your matchups. And know your matchups, but also know your range. You were shooting Farah. And we were like, all right, I don't like it, but I get it. She's close. But now you're shooting Mercy. And she's across the map. And then you're like, oh, I guess I should go here. But like, that should have been ages ago. You get me?
Yeah.
Play your range.
I just kind of shoot whatever in front of me.
Right, and that's the problem.
Right.
Now, you don't have your deflect, but this is scary for Soldier.
Right.
This is really scary for Soldier. And you know it. And then you got to see how, like, this is like the Genji classic. Where, like, can you imagine shifting in here as Echo and doing something like that? You would die, like, immediately.
No,
Yeah?
yeah. Fun fact: I die immediately.
No way! Did you eat it? You must have eaten a damage boosted rocket. You must have.
No, it was both Farah and
Okay. But you know what?
I thought I was playing so fucking scared. I remember just like waiting for him to damage me so I could grab Mega, and then just getting shot in the back.
Honestly, it's dumb. You should have played cover better and been aware of your team, but let's not cry about it. It is what it is. Suffering.
Suffer as I have.
Average middle schooler.
One of the more fun voice lines to scream.
And one of the least fun ultimates.
True.
We were looking at this ultimate and being like, unreleased, and being like, this isn't serious. They're not serious with this, right? This isn't real, is it? Now,
I remember watching. Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm interrupting myself. Okay, so
Yeah.
Does this make sense? What you just
I pushed the soldier off high ground. I think it does, and I have deflect.
Why do you push the soldier off of high ground? In other words, how are you so confident that you're going to push the soldier off of high ground?
Because I have pressure, kill threat.
Why? Who wins at this duel at this range, right? You guys see what I'm saying?
Shotgun.
Right,
Genji,
shotgun
yeah.
does. Now, obviously, you have to incorporate Helix and maybe a heal station, but he does need to respect this. He needs to respect this. So you're leveraging in the fact that also, again, could you just shift in here as Echo? Maybe, maybe not. It'd be scary. You don't give a rip. You have wall climb, you have deflect, you have a mag. Again, you honestly, the other thing too, don't forget you move faster, 10% faster.
Huh?
You didn't know that?
I do what now?
Genji and Tracer move 10% faster than the rest of the Overwatch cast.
Where the fuck is this in the passives?
I think. Oh wait, Genji Overwatch. I don't know where it would be in the wiki, but it's been like this since Overwatch 1.
Are you serious?
Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right.
I did not know that at all.
Yeah. It's somewhere. Wait.
It's not on the. It's not in game. It's crazy.
No, it won't show it in game. Speed. Let's see here. It's in game. I mean, it's in game, and somewhere you'll have to look it up. Wait. Wait, no, I don't want Microsoft Edge. Do Genji's base movement speed. Yeah, see, it's 10% faster. Yeah.
I can't see, but I
Here,
assume.
I'm looking. I'm saying it to myself. Here you go.
Okay.
I'll send you the article.
That's fucking wild.
So base movement speed is 5.5. Tracer and Genji move at 6. So again, there's more survivability there, right? Like it's a small thing, but it's a thing. It's going to allow you to move to cover faster, grab health packs faster, be harder to hit, right? So Good play, by the way. Nice play. Now,
Right.
obviously you got to chill for a second because you're waiting for your tank. But then as soon as you get your dash and deflect back, okay, finishing that target off. I just can't even, man. I just don't even know. Like, you're like...
You don't even need to say it.
I just don't even know. You break the matchup rule and you break the range rule simultaneously. I mean, look at these guys. You're so close.
After, I'm pretty sure I die here, and then I realized,
No,
wait, why the fuck did I go for the
no. I mean, look, they're right there, man. I mean, it's like, I mean, at least he's not pocketed, but then you get shot in the back. But you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
You go backwards to chase a too far away, no pun intended, and a bad matchup, you know? That's wild. All right.
Back to square one.
World's biggest blade incoming, right? I like this positioning. No, you were doing so well, right? Like, look at this, like a bam, he's got to run away, you know? And then force him out, and then from here, you could either wrap around flank here, you could do the echo thing and sneak up from here, you could go back and shoot tank, but this do you see what's on your screen right now?
Now I'm seeing some extra options other than just run it down.
Right, because what you're doing right now is like it's like the worst thing that Genji is that. That's the worst thing. Like, who's going to be doing more doing this, a Soldier, a Pharah, or Genji? You know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah.
Any or Pharah, anything other than Genji would be. I mean, this is
right.
Oh, I mean, you're out poking a Reaper at this range, I think. You know, but that's not what you're playing versus. So
maybe a Tracer.
And your Div is debacked. And then now, oh, you're thinking about blade. But think about where you were blading. So far back. Oh my gosh. You're supposed to dash above them, not.
I think. Did I get hit by E?
Yes, you did. You did.
Okay.
I would just blade this here, honestly. I would just blade this. Seriously, really? I would just blade this. Yeah. You have beat HP? Use it right now. Shit. You're dead. Do you see how bad this feels when you can't get on top of people? When you can't get close to people?
I feel it.
It feels awful. 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 All right, Nanoblade time. It's really Morbin time. I'm going to see the fattest 5K. I just know it. You're going to kill Pharmacy out of the sky. Let's go. It's all going to be worth it.
That they laugh.
Oh, it's all gonna be worth it. See, this isn't even bad. It's not necessary because Nanoblade, but this is something that's worth. You have to be careful of Pharah Splash, right? We saw that one earlier, but at least it kind of makes sense, right?
Right.
Whom are you blading right now?
Yeah, that's a damn good question.
And that's it. If you don't know the answer, it's over.
I don't see anybody on my
screen. You don't know. Like, I guess Soldier probably, or BAP, but BAP is a million miles away, so you should probably go for Soldier, but you don't even know where Soldier is, so you just go for Ram.
I go Ram.
And then you don't even actually go Ram. You just kind of like, yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, let's.
Maybe this is why I had 13 losses.
I mean, you're actually doing things now, right? But it's too late. Right. It's too late now. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, bro, I get the staff in the back of my in my back from Mercy. Like, look at this shit.
Sit down. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, it's just you just didn't have a target.
I didn't have a target, and then it just devolved from there.
Yeah, it devolved from there. Now, it's actually a tiny little detail, just because it's fun to chat about. You're going to see this versus good teams. Do you see what this BAP's doing?
He's positioned on height, so he can...
Yeah, you're not getting a dash reset in this son of a gun. Because he's target number one, because he's, even with his jump, he's slower, so... Yeah. But he's now... So what's the counter to this, by the way? Let's say this is a naked blade, no nano. How do you play around this? Because this is tricky, right?
Poke him out with a left click, maybe?
No. Because you're not very good at that, right?
Right.
Not terrible, but not great. Now, the first thing is if you see an opportunity to just blade the Soldier, just blade the Soldier, it's fine. Even naked blade, it would work. But like, let's say he doesn't present itself, right? Or there's not a good time to, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Does BAP want to play here? Is this optimal for Baptiste?
think so, just in terms of healing. I mean, it's not the greatest for
But
damage.
but you see the problem right there, right? It's in terms of healing, but not in terms of damage. So he is compromising his effectiveness
Right.
to counter your blade. So if this ever happens where people play like really, like especially in the nano blade, like take really really stupid positions to avoid your nano blade, do you know what you do? You just no, you don't. You just play the game. You just shoot shurikens.
What do you mean?
Because he's not very effective right now, is he? Your team has an advantage just existing right now. You see what I'm saying? They're countering your nanoblade strat at the expense of just playing a normal fight.
Huh.
He's not in a good position to shoot your diva. So guess who's going to win the tank war?
Right, the diva.
The diva, right? And so he's going to start. You're not going to blade. You're just going to shoot the Ramatra in the head and shoot the soldier and back him, force him out. And he's going to get, oh, we're losing, and then you nanoblade. You kind of see what I'm saying?
So once, okay, so like hold blade for.
Let's put it this way, if they are playing ridiculous splits and playing a million miles away to try and basically make it impossible for you to blade, go, okay, I won't blade then, I kill you now, and just shoot their tank or shoot the off angle or something like that. Does that make sense? Because the way that they have to adjust their play to counter nanoblade compromises their ability to play the game otherwise.
Right, it makes sense, but I don't know how I would see it in the moment.
In the moment, it's just as simple as this. Why the frick is the Batiste all the way over there?
I don't think I even see him there.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You should have been looking for him because he's target number 1 before you even bladed, right?
Yeah, target prio is.
But yeah, so for our purposes, that's the biggest one. But I guess it's just a tiny little detail to throw out there. Okay.
Right.
Let's wrap this up. Genji. Really, just the two things, yeah?
Yeah, because those are large issues.
Yes.
That are very present.
So what are the issues? How would you frame them to be memorable and actionable in game?
Target prio.
Target priority slash, because it wasn't just target priority. Remember, the Pharah was reasonable until she what?
Was out of distance.
Range, right? Remember, you are a short range character most of the time. So take
I also
angles.
don't like expressly look for people. Like I kind of like I said before, I kind of just shoot whatever's in front of me.
Now you're flexible, right? You could shoot tank, you could shoot a lot of targets. So I would put your range / the angle that you're taking as being short range as more of a priority than target. But let's be honest here. If it's Pharah versus BAP, I know who I'm going for.
Right.
So I wouldn't say target priority is the most important thing, but it's something to consider. Think about this way: does Reaper want to shoot a Roadhog? Does Reaper want to shoot a Torp? Or does Reaper want to shoot a Diva, or does Reaper want to shoot a Zenyatta? You kind of see what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, but at the same time, if Zen's standing a million miles away, then I'm going to shoot the Diva. Right. So for Genji, it's like, I'd love to kill a BAP, but if the BAP is a million miles away, I'm going to shoot the Ramatra in the head. Okay.
Right. That's kind of what I do on tank, especially like on Orisa. Like, I just spam tank, but if there's a squishy that I see, I'll try and.
Right. Exactly. So you got to play your range. You can't be. I don't want you chasing butterflies a million miles away. Try to take short off angles. Like think about like with Echo. One of the things that makes Echo super strong is that she has so many options. And with Genji, you do have so many options because of your extra little bit of mobility. But most of them are going to be short range. Think about that hotel flank on King's Row first point attack. That one is a lot lower risk as Genji than it is with Echo. Right. But at the same time, you swinging wide of statue and spamming shurikens becomes a lot less attractive because you don't have the spam and stickies that she has. You just have a couple dinky little metal chunks of whatever. So not so good. So are there comps that you're going to poke versus? Yeah. Are you going to be poking while you're rotating? Yes. I'm not saying never poke as Genji. I'm just saying be looking to try to take shorter off angles. And then Blade.
Blade Pepe laugh.
Find someone. One target. Don't blade before you scout. That's the big thing. So many people see these Necros clips and it's like, you don't try to replicate it, but it kind of sits in your head, where you want to go bam, 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 bam. But slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Pick a target and then acquire the next target, and then acquire the next target, and then acquire the next target. One kill with a nanoblade is not fun. It's not always the best value, but it's usually enough to win fights.
Right, because I've gotten those like Necros clips.
Oh yeah,
before, but it's been like I dash up and in the moment I see an Ana. You know, it's like bet. All right, let's go.
Right, right. You're scouting as you're committing, and like that. That's like informational overload almost at that point.
Right. Yeah. Right? It's like go.
Do your homework so then in the moment you can just kind of relax a little bit or focus on hitting my deflect on a sleep dart or whatever else. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions, man?
Yeah. So not in this VOD. I struggle with deflect usage a lot. Like I hold it too long, or I'm too greedy with it, or sometimes I think like I just don't use it correctly. Like especially like I'll die a lot of the times in ways like I did that first death on Echo on King's Row, where it's just kind of like I just get domed, especially like on flanks. I don't know exactly how to use deflect.
I would say deflect is your dueling tool, right? Where when you go for a play or you look to hold a position, if they push you or you're pushing somebody else, your deflect is what allows you to win that 1v1 or allows you to get out of that 1v1 alive. Okay. Here's what I would say with deflect. The simplest way of looking at deflect usage is just try to avoid just standing in the middle of nowhere and just deflecting for a random, maybe I'll deflect the fire strike back, or I'll deflect the Junkrat spam or the far rocket. Like, you have a purpose with it. They are pushing me, I am deflecting. I am pushing them, I am deflecting. I am going for a kill, I am deflecting. The biggest most common mistake is that people just use deflect just because back in Silver you could get fat deflect on main kills. Don't do that. Use your deflect as a tool that allows you to position and hold the position. So the positioning's first. The deflect is what allows you to get, keep, or hold that position.
Gotcha. Okay.
Or to keep, or to win a 1v1. Same thing, really. Remember when you dashed that soldier? Yeah. And I was like, hey, why does that work? Well, you probably, more often than not, will need your deflect to do plays like that safely.
Really? Okay, so like right-click dash, maybe thread in another right-click, then deflect.
Yeah, and then, and then react. Okay, am I being shot? Okay, then I deflect, and that's going to allow me to either get out of jail free or to allow me to stay here and survive. Right. Or if you go for the bat, like you dash it on the bat, well, you better have your deflect, right? You need that. That buys you time. That buys you, reflects damage back on them. Gives you the opportunity to even just think of it as like it buys me time so that I get my dash back again, right? Deflect is really, 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 really important. And a lot of people kind of will use it just for random spam and then wonder why they can't hold an off angle or why they never can kill people on their kills, on their dashes, right? That's why. Dash and deflect are actually very similar, where they're you need them for duels and you need them to hold space. If you use your dash aggressively, you better have your deflect. If you waste your deflect, you better have your dash. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, if you have any other questions, you may shoot them my way.
I got one more for Genji. So say I'm on one of my Genji only days, and I come across a team comp that's just anti-dive, just anti-Genji. Really.
What is anti-dive? What is anti-Genji?
That's a good question. That I'm not entirely sure about the answer to.
Okay.
Something to think about. Like Kree or Cass.
Gotcha.
And then either Moira or Lucio.
Moira or Lucio, you shoot them, you don't dive them.
You shoot them, you don't dive them.
Mm-hmm. They have no poke damage, right?
How the fuck do I hit shurikens on them?
But you don't hit shurikens on them necessarily. You hit shurikens on somebody else. Remember, when you're poking a tank, or you're also thinking, oh no, who's going to be poking me? Right? Mm-hmm. If they were on Zen Bap, you would die if you weren't careful. Moira Lucio? What are they going to do? Shoot me?
About, maybe the soldier, but then the soldier I can dive.
Right, but there's fewer targets that you have to worry about shooting you in the back. Harder for you to immediately kill them, but harder for them to actually punish you for poking their team. You got me?
Yeah. What are some actual anti-dive heroes? Because I can look at a character's kit and that's good for anti-dive. Like Ana,
it's more about ease. It's more about ease. Like if you're playing Genji into a Moira, she stops you doing from what you want to do. She just doesn't stop you. You want to dash and kill squishies, yes?
Yeah.
Moira is very hard to dash and kill. So you can either adjust and win the game, or you can force the same playstyle and lose. And a lot of people will force the same playstyle and lose because they'd rather do that than play the game that they don't want to play.
Right.
That's the anti-dive archetype. Now there are the actual anti-dive characters is a bit of an interesting and ironic category. It's characters like Iliari, like you were saying earlier.
Right.
Who have not only the ability to stop you from diving them, but also can poke you out at the same time. Characters like Sojourn, who have that same dynamic as well.
Right.
Characters like, even to an extent, Tracer, who can mark you on flanks very easily and is better at 1v1ing than you are, right?
Yeah.
You kind of get what I'm saying? Characters that are more dynamic, even an Echo, can be very difficult to play into sometimes because you can't really duel her, and she can also duel you quite comfortably if you mess up.
Right.
So I would say anti-dive is a complicated category. Even Torb to an extent, right?
Torb.
You know, you can beat him up close. You can also poke him out, but he could do the same to you if you're not careful.
Right.
You know, his overload, his shotgun, his poke, his turret.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a little bit more complex there.
Right. Okay. And then one more thing you reminded me with Tracer. What is the definition of marking?
Marking is saying this is an angle that I have. I'm not going to let you take it.
Really?
You marked the soldier when you dashed on top of him because he wanted that position and you said no.
Okay.
Now, marking would be not just getting rid of him, but staying there and not ever letting him get back into that position again. It wouldn't mean dashing to there and then leaving there and then going for your own kills, because then he could go right back, right?
Right.
Marking would be dashing there and staying there and just shooting Ramatra and not letting the soldier retake that angle.
That's marking. Okay.
Marking is saying this angle here, you're going to have to fight me for it. I'm not going to let you have it. And it's important sometimes when there's either a really powerful position that you want to use or you don't want the enemy team to use, or if you don't want the enemy team to take an angle to assassinate your backline.
Right. Because I remember you talking about that with like
marking is just saying this is a lane and I don't want to take it. Now, some people will say marking is finding a person on the enemy team and shooting them. Like you can mark a ball, right? Chase a ball around the map. That is also technically marking too. But the reason why I don't define marking as that is sometimes that's kind of bad. Like, for example, like let's say, let me restart streaming again. You might have to jump back in again. You back in? So let's say you dash the soldier here and he runs all the way back to his team and then decides he wants to flank all the way through here. Now you could go and chase him all the way over here and get rid of him again. That would be marking, yes? Okay, but you see how that would be kind of uncomfortable and take a lot of time and probably not be worth the effort. Right? So that's sometimes where people misunderstand marking, where it probably would be better to get rid of the most powerful position for him and to let him have the peanuts. Let him have the worst position. He can have it. I don't care. I'm gonna take this position and kill this tank. Right? Same thing would be for like a Tracer. I will let's say as a Reaper, I'm going to mark this off angle here, not let the enemy Reaper or enemy Tracer take it, because this is a better angle for me and a better angle for her. If the Tracer wants to go all the way over here and flank my backline, I don't care. You can have it. I just want this position for me. You know?
Okay, so it's like contesting space.
Right. Okay. It'd be like, for example, like to mark a Wrecking Ball, you would not chase the Wrecking Ball around the map, because guess what? That's going to be a waste of time.
Right.
To mark a Wrecking Ball would be to, when he is contesting you, to give him attention, get rid of him. I see this sometimes with Tracers will chase Wrecking Balls around the map, and it's really bad because Wrecking Balls could just outspeed you. And then all of a sudden you're wasting all this time when you should have just gotten rid of him and then just held the space. Marking is more about controlling space than controlling a person, necessarily.
Okay, controlling space. Gotcha.
Make sense?
Yeah, reminds me. I had another VOD. I realized we're running.
No, I mean, like I said, this is how it goes.
Yeah. I had another VOD on Busan, the large open point with the drum in the middle. I don't remember the name of it.
Sanctuary.
Yeah, Sanctuary. They had a ball, and I shot him whenever he dove, but
right.
I don't know, like.
So what you could do is you could be like, hey, what angle is this ball like trying to use? And then if I'm like a caster or tracer that can do with them, park myself on that angle if it's at least halfway decent for me too, right? So then I get the angle, but I also stop him and make his engages really awkward. I make him go to the other side of the map if he wants to engage on my team, which might not be as good. That engage might be a lot more obvious for him, which is bad, right? Could be as simple as like a marking. Here's, you want to hear something crazy? Here's marking, technically sonic arrowing a sightline that Widowmaker wants to take.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You make it uncomfortable. She wants that sight line, but you're saying, haha, come on, go ahead. I dare you. I dare you to peek there. Are you denying the Widowmaker from peeking ever? No, you're just saying you can't peek there.
Right. Whenever I play Widow and they have a Hanzo and I hear the Sonic arrow, I don't peek.
Right. He's marking you, is what he's doing. Yeah. So then you have to, he's literally marking you. He's telling you exactly where you are, but marking could also just be by holding a space too. I'm planning on making a video on that because I think it's a pretty important topic, but I haven't made it yet, so we'll see.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you for the spark notes.
Yeah. No worries.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I've got some more like general questions, which would probably take time to answer. Like,
sure. Just message me.
Okay. Yeah.
Just message me, and you can message me directly too. So don't have to be the whole ass battle thing. But yeah. All right, mate. Well.